because there was some question marks whether the Steam Deck would just be a one-off and that it was actually just a vehicle to develop SteamOS to put elsewhere.
Yeah,
but it signals their intention that this is here to stay. This whole hardware part of their business is their focus.
Yes.
And that there's then likely to be a Steam Deck 2 that's actually going to happen. But moreover, the Steam Machine in particular breathes huge life into the Steam Deck owners. Like if you get a Steam Machine, like longevity-wise.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, I do agree with that. Yeah, because not only is SteamOS just going to continue to get developed and get better, but equally you'll be able to stream from your Steam Machine onto your Steam Deck and then play stuff at higher fidelity or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Or at least into the near future where games become too intensive for the Steam Deck. We're already seeing it. Like there's games
we've been there for the past over a year.
Yeah. And people find workarounds and they're happy with lossless scaling and all the other tweaks and stuff you can do. But this gives you a hardware way of just keeping it alive until the Steam Deck 2 is here. If you're just dead set into your Steam Deck, you love the OLED screen or whatever it is.
Yeah. If you're streaming, if you've got the OLED and streaming, this will save you having to subscribe to GeForce Now. You know, you could have your Steam Machine and just stream it locally. I mean, you could do that now anyway if you had a PC, right? Which you're probably doing if you've got a Steam Deck OLED is the best way, I would say, right now to be experiencing AAA games is some form of streaming, whether that's remote streaming or using a service like GeForce Now, which I'm really happy that they natively put on the deck. Because it wasn't there natively for a long time. But the Steam Machine and the Steam Deck are now going to be pair hand in hand. And I 100%. Love that little family thing. Do you know what I mean? It feels so tight-knit.
The presentation opened, and it was a blue checkered screen, and it's got the logos for each of the devices. It's just it's clear that this is a family of hardware and everything is going to be co-developed, and the idea is that they would all sit hand in hand and play nice with each other. Yeah. There's an ecosystem now.
Yeah.
I want to dig into all of the specs and everything, what the Steam Machine means. But firstly, I want to say it's seismic. I fully believe this is a seismic moment for the fight for the living room.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree. And obviously, we will touch on a bit later while it could be equally an issue there. But I do think for PC gamers, it is a seismic thing because I know myself because I've got two desktops in the living room, full-size systems. I've got massive PCs in the sitting room. So, and it is frustrating. They're loud, they're huge. And it just looks a bit unwieldy. People are like, why you got PCs in your living room?
Yeah.
Whereas this thing is the size of a Coke can, squared. It's
a 6 inch cube.
Yeah, the Gabe Cube, the Nintendo Gabe Cube, right? I'm surprised they're not going to get sued by Nintendo, if I'm honest. If I bought one, I would get a GameCube skin to put on it. 100% I would.
They're releasing the CAD files for people to 3D
for the front
print.
plate. Yeah, for the front plate and
it's
stuff.
Cool
man. It's wicked, but that size is perfect. 6 inch thing, that will fit on anyone's TV stand, or hidden away in a cupboard or whatever. It's not unwieldy. It's aesthetic. It's pleasing to look at. It's not going to be out of place with I nearly said your DVD player, but I suppose we're not in the 2000s anymore. It's not going to be out of place next to your Series X and your PS5. Yeah. And your stereo system. Yeah. Who has one of them anymore? Yeah.
With your parametric equalizer.
That's it. Yeah. But so I think that the size of the thing is where, like you said, the fight for the sitting room. This thing's smaller than a console. It's going to be a smaller footprint than a Nintendo Switch 2 in the dock.
Half the height of a Series X. I'm just looking at my Series X, which is just to my right.
Yeah.
And that looks like it's probably about 12 inches when stood up.
Yeah,
maybe a bit.
I mean,
longer.
if you got a hacksaw and just cut it in half, you would have two steam machines
exactly
already.
That. And hardware-wise, you might actually be there as well, because that's the kind of the crux here. They're pitching this, before we talk about the actual specific hardware, as a 4K 60 machine. And in my news bit, when I was reacting to it, I was like, wait, hold up. And then there's a little asterisk underneath with the support of FSR. I'm like, not just the support, with FSR doing all of the lifting.
The absolute reliance on FSR. Yeah.
100%.
There is no way with the specs you are getting 4K 60 on AAA games, even with FSR, I would argue,
no way.
Unless you're using ultra performance mode and upscaling from 540p to 4K, and then it's going to look bad.
Yeah, it's going to look bad.
So this is kind of the 8K PS5 moment for me.
It's 100%
on the box. If they'd have said the 1440p 60 machine with FSR, now we're talking, because you're being realistic here, and you could totally upscale to 1440p, get 60 FPS whilst it looks good.
The problem is, they are, with this, it's us people that are used to the PC specs side of stuff, we can drill into it and go, I'm not sure that they're talking the truth there. But the marketing of this is at the console space. Slightly more done. It's slightly more toned down. There's not so much talk about specific hardware. If they pitch this to the console space as a 1440p machine, Xbox Series X owners and PS5 owners who think their machine is a 4K 60 machine are going to go, no way.
That's true. Yeah, I hadn't considered that.
But the PS5 owners don't know that their machine isn't doing 4K 60. They assume that it is because that's what the box is telling them.
It's telling them that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And their TV's a 4K TV, so it must be. Do you know? It's like...
Yeah, they're just none of the wiser. They don't understand how it works.
And they don't need to because it's a console.
Yeah, and it could be 1080p, but because it says 4K, they're like, it's 4K.
Yeah,
so
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will tell you that 1,000 times over.
Because that's 166p in it.
I played that at 720/60. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and that was probably upscaled to 720p. Yeah.
It was horrific. So I think they have to say 4K 60 for the marketing.
Yeah,
and
they're not lying. Games will be able to do 4K 60. It's just going to be 2D platformers. Or older games. Any of the older stuff, I think, will be fine. But if you're talking about AAA games, no.
This is running off of RDNA 3 architecture.
Yeah.
So it's kind of. I was going to say current gen, but it's kind of not now, is it? RDNA 4 is here with discrete GPUs.
Yeah. I've got a 9070 XT.
Yeah, so it's kind of slightly last generation from a PC side of things, hardware.
Yeah.
So even the reliance on FSR, you're relying on pretty much software-based FSR. There's going to be some hardware lifting done, but you're relying on developers implementing FSR into their games.
The benefit is the majority of recent games are FSR dominant, at least with FSR 3. Not FSR 4, that's still too new, but FSR 3 is actually present in a lot of games, and especially if you're looking at stuff from big developers like any of the Xbox studios, any of the PlayStation games, they're all they all use AMD hardware anyway. So FSR is present. And the thing we do, even though we're being kind of harsh about the 4K 60 claim and comparing it to a console, one thing that I was talking to some of our members last night about was the fact that on PlayStation, you either have quality or performance mode. And that's it.
Yeah.
You get a choice. You can't dial it in. Whereas this is a PC, so it's far more configurable. So game specific, you could, if you know what you're doing and you like to tinker a little bit, you could totally jump in to the settings and do a mixture of low and medium or whatever on a game, and then actually be able to hit that maybe 4K 60 with FSR, rather than going into a game, putting it on the highest graphics setting with FSR and then going, why is it only running at 20 FPS? The other thing as well we need to consider is this is going to be the only Steam machine for the foreseeable future. So there's going to be big content creators and websites doing new game specific settings that will be like, here's your optimized settings for X game, and people can just go and copy that. You know, like, so you will be able to squeeze more performance out of this than, say, like a PlayStation. And we do need to just say as well that the CPU side here is far greater than the PS5's CPU. So we should be able to get decent performance out of this.
Yeah, and am I right remembering that PS5 on the GPU side of things is an RDNA 2 architecture, isn't it?
Yeah.
So although I've seen a lot of people looking at just the numbers on like what the clock speeds are and stuff, and how many computing threads and cores that it's using. I've seen a lot of people comparing the numbers with the consoles and going, oh, it's a lot lower. It's like, yeah, remember, this is newer hardware is the big one. So it will be way more efficient in how it deals with power than the Series X and the PS5.
Yes,
But I think because of those lower numbers, it'll probably average out as being similar performances to what we see from probably a PS5.
I think it's going to be better. I think it's going to be better performance than a PS5 and a Series X, purely because stronger CPU and the fact that we can dial in settings here. You know, like we do have FSR choice. So you'll be able to choose, do you want FSR quality, performance, balanced, ultra performance? Like, you're going to be able to squeeze far more performance out of this. And we need to remember this is running SteamOS, which is far more performant than Windows.
Super efficient. Yeah.
So you're getting a boost in frame rate just by the fact it's got Windows SteamOS on it, plus all this configurable, like the configurable nature of the thing and newer hardware. It will be better.
And that is the end of that, unless you want to see more, and then it's only just the beginning of your journey.
I like that.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, I just came up with it just now. Yes, that was the end of that clip of the podcast. If you want to see what we're talking about actually in a full podcast fashion, then click on the link there and watch it. And, maybe subscribe as you leave, or like before you leave.
Like before you leave.
Nice catchphrase, that.
Oh.